The National Institute on Drug Abuse found some good news on the war on drugs. Illicit drug use among teens continues to decline to the lowest level in history. But as parents, we still worry. So here to kind of give us some pointers on what to look for in your own children is Casterlin of ARCpoint Labs. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So you have 3 points, I think, that are critical for parents.
I do. The first one is talk to your kids. Really open up the dialogue. Have it as an ongoing conversation. You can't lecture them just one time and say, okay, the drug issue's covered. You want to start early and continue to have conversations with them and give them the opportunity to ask questions and learn.
You also mentioned finding those teachable moments.
Right, there's a lot of opportunities. If you're watching a show on TV that has a story about drug use or it involves drugs, take time out and have that conversation with your kids at that point. Maybe do some role playing to give them the opportunity to feel what it's like to say no when somebody offers them something that they don't want to get into.
I thought you had a really good suggestion about offering up some kind of contract for them to sign.
Sure, a lot of parents we work with will create a contract with their kids through their high school years, and they'll set up to randomly drug test the kids, and that way when the kid gets in a situation where somebody's offering them something or they're getting a lot of peer pressure to take something, they have an out. They can say, I can't do it, not that I'm afraid of it, but my parents are going to test me, and if I don't follow through with this contract, I'll lose my driving privileges, or I'll wind up getting grounded for a few weeks. So it's really important to me to have those freedoms, and my parents are going to test me. So that's an out that the kids can use.
That's awesome. Stony Point High School started a program here in Austin about that. I wanted to give people some perspective because I know as a parent we like to think our kids are just good kids, right? But we found some research that said by 12th grade, 44% of teens have tried marijuana once in their life. 21% had tried other illicit drugs, something a little bit different than marijuana. How important is it for you to have this conversation with your kids versus them having it with their friends?
Extremely important, right? You can't hide your head in the sand and pretend it doesn't exist, because it does. And when your kids are in middle school even, they're going to start seeing it, they're going to start hearing about it, and they're going to start having opportunities to explore it. And if you're not talking with them, somebody else is gonna, and you may not like what somebody else teaches them about it, right? So it's best to get out in front of it as early as you can and have an ongoing conversation. Open, not a lecture, but really talk and listen to what your child has to say.
If you recognize some of the signs, I know there are things you can look for in their bedrooms, but you can also look at them, right?
There's 5 key signs to look for. The first 4 are, changes, physical changes, weight loss, or sores, seem more accident prone. Behavior changes, mood changes, and personality changes are all things that can be a signal, and this is something a lot of teens go through anyways, but when it's extreme, you may want to start looking for that. And then things like finding paraphernalia. If your child starts carrying a lighter where they never really had a need to carry one before, those are the types of things that should trigger some thoughts that say, I might have a problem here, and I want to get ahead of it and deal with it as early as I can.
And seek help. All right. Paul, we appreciate it.
Sure.
We know that you all do a lot of drug testing there too to help people, so if you want more information, we've got that, and we'll put that on our website.
Great. Thank you very much.